Hello everyone. In this video, let's discuss about looping concept. Let's discuss about nested loops. Okay, what do you mean by nested loop? One loop present inside another loop is called as nested loop. So I'll start with the program. I'll include the header file stdio.h. So the execution of the program always starts from the main function. In the previous video, we were discussing about all the three looping statements. Now let's discuss about the nested loop. I'll declare the variable n. So I'll get the input value from the user. So %d ampersand n. So on the address of n, I'm going to store the input value. Now I'll take a for loop. So when you go for a for loop, we have to go with three things: initialization, condition. I'm giving the conditions I less than or equal to n, I plus plus. So this is nothing but the body of the loop. So inside a for loop, I'm going to give one more for loop. This is called as nested for loop. I'll give j equal to 1, j less than or equal to n, j plus plus. I'm going to print the value of I and j. I comma j. I'm going to print the value of I and j. So this is what called as nested for loop. So whenever we are writing programs on patterns, we will be dealing mostly with the nested for loop. Patterns, matrix, in those areas we will be dealing with the nested for loops. Let me explain the execution here. So let's assume the input value n to be 3. Okay. So here we'll start the iteration. I is equal to 1. 1 less than or equal to 3. Condition is true. So now I value is 1. Condition is true. I'll go inside the loop. So do not go for the complete iteration. So condition is true. I'll go inside the for loop. When I go inside the for loop, it completes the iteration of the inner loop completely, and then only it goes to the next iteration of my outer for loop. So here I'll come inside j is equal to 1. 1 less than or equal to 3. Condition is true. If the condition is true, I'll go inside. I'll print my value of I and j. Okay, I value is 1 and j value is also 1. Both will get printed. Okay, then I'll give new line so that when I go for next iteration, it prints new line so that we can get to know it. Then I'll go to the next iteration. Now j value is incremented by 1, which becomes 2. 2 less than or equal to 3, yes, condition is true. I'll go inside, I'll print my value of I and j. So I value is 1 because it is still 1, j value is 2. So 1 and 2 will get printed. Then I'll go to the next iteration. J value is incremented by 1, which becomes 3. 3 less than or equal to 3, yes, condition is true. I'll go inside the loop. I'll print my I value and j value. I value is 1 and my j value is 3. So I'll go for the next iteration. I value is incremented by 1, which becomes 4. 4 less than or equal to 3, condition is false. It comes out of this for loop. Then I'll go to the next iteration of the outer for loop. So now I value is incremented by 1, which becomes 2. This is how the rest of for loop works. So I'll go for the first iteration of outer for loop. Then I'll complete all the iteration of this inner for loop. Then I'll go to the next iteration of my outer for loop. Now I value is incremented by 1, which becomes 2. 2 less than or equal to 3, yes, condition is true. If the condition is true, I'll go inside. Again j value starts from 1 because this is a new iteration. So again j value starts from 1. 1 less than or equal to 3, yes, condition is true. I'll go inside, I'll print my I value and j value. Now the current I value is 2 and j value is 1. Then I'll go to the next iteration of my j value. J value becomes 2. 2 less than or equal to 3, yes, condition is true. I'll go inside, I'll print my I value is 2 and j value is also 2. Then I'll go to the next iteration. J value is incremented by 1, which becomes 3. 3 less than or equal to 3, condition is true. I'll go inside, I'll print my I value as 2 and j value as 3. Then I'll go to the next iteration. J value is incremented by 1, which becomes 4. 4 less than or equal to 3, condition is false. I'll come out of this inner for loop. I'll go to the next iteration of my outer for loop. Now I value becomes 3. So when I value is 3, again j value starts from 1 onwards. 1 less than or equal to 3, yes, condition is true. I'll go here, I'll print my I value and j value. I value is 3, j value is 1. Then I'll go to the next iteration. J value is incremented by 1, which becomes 2. Then I'll go to the body of the loop. I value is 3, j value is 2. Then I'll go to the next iteration of my j value. J value becomes 3. 3 less than or equal to 3, condition is still true, I'll go here, I'll print my I value as 3 and j value is also 3. Then I'll go to the next iteration, j value is incremented by 1 which becomes 4, 4 less than or equal to 3, condition is false, I'll come out of this for loop. Then I'll go to the next iteration of my I value. Now I value becomes 4, 4 less than or equal to 3, condition is false, I'll come out of this for loop, that's all. This is the logic of the program and this is how the nested for loop gets executed. Let me run the code now. I'll give my input value n as 3. See, I've got 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, 3 1, 3 2, 3 3. So these are all I values and these are all j values. Fine. Okay. Now let's discuss the another concept. So let me start by including the header file. I'll start the program with the main function because execution always starts from the main function. I'll get the input value from the user as well. %d, ampersand n. Here we have learned that we can initialize the values with one variable. Is it possible to initialize with two values? So I'm going to give I equal to 1, j equal to n. So can I give two initializations inside the for loop? Because we know for loop consists of three parts: initialization, condition and increment or decrement. So in this case, can I initialize more than one value? Yes, it is possible, we can initialize. So is it mandatory then I have to give two conditions? No. You can initialize one value and you can give two conditions. You can initialize two values and you can give one condition. So that doesn't matter at all. Similarly, in increment or decrement, you can give n number of values. It doesn't matter at all. So I am starting my I value as 1 and j value as n. So I less than or equal to n, yes, condition is true. So I am trying to go for incrementation of I and decrementation of j. So when you are dealing with two pointers, this plays a major role. So when two pointers concept, front and back, you are incrementing the front side and you are decrementing the back side in an array. So in those areas, this plays a major role. Or you can say whenever you are writing a program for string palindrome or string reversal, these concepts, this type of initialization helps us to write the program effectively. Now I'll try to print my value of I and j. So %d, %d, I, j. Let me give return 0 and let me run the code and then we'll execute and see 1 4. Okay, let me print a new line so that it will be easy for us to know what is the exact value. See 1 4 2 3 3 2 4 1. Okay, let me see how it's getting executed. Here I value equal to, I'll give n value as 4. I value is equal to 1, j value is equal to 4. So what is my I value? I value is equal to 1, j value is equal to 4. I'll go here, I'll check the condition, I less than or equal to n, 1 less than or equal to 4, condition is true. I'll go here, I'll print my I value as 1, j value as 4. Then I'll go to next iteration, I value incremented by 1 which becomes 2, j value decremented by 1 which becomes 3. 2 less than or equal to 4, yes, condition is true. I'll go here, I'll print my I value as 2, j value as 3. Then I'll go for the next iteration, I value is incremented by 1 which is 3, j value is decremented by 1 which becomes 2. So I'll print my I value and j value. I value is 3, j value is 2. Then I'll go for next iteration. I value is incremented by 1 which becomes 4, j value is decremented by 1 which becomes 1. 4 less than or equal to 4, condition is still true. I'll print I value as 4, j value as 1. Then I'll go to next iteration. I value is incremented by 1 which becomes 5, j value is decremented by 1 which becomes 0. 5 less than or equal to 4, condition is false. I'll come out of the for loop. So this is how the loop gets executed. So you can initialize two values, that doesn't matter at all. Fine. Okay. Now let's go for the next concept. Similarly, I'll include the header file. Okay. After this, I have to give the main function. Then I'll declare the variable n, I'll get the input value from the user. %d, ampersand. Okay. Now, we know when I go for loop, we have to give initialization, condition, increment. And then I'll print my I value. I. So I'll just give a space. then I'll give return 0. So here it is not mandatory that I have to initialize here only. So here I'll take this initialization, I'll give here. It still executes. See here, I'll give n value as 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it doesn't mean that initialization should be given only inside the for loop. Similarly, increment I can give here. It still executes. But the for loop should have 2 semicolons inside this. Before semicolon is initialization, after first semicolon is for condition, after condition I have to give a semicolon, after semicolon this increment or decrement values. That is the actual meaning. But I can initialize outside the for loop also or inside the for loop also, initialization can be done. Similarly, increment or decrement can be done here or inside this also you can give. And here you don't want to give the condition. So here if you want, you can give the condition inside the for loop also. Okay. So these are all the things you have to know when you go for loops. Fine. Now I'll go for next one. So for int I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus. I'll print my I value, print of %d, comma, I value. So we know this gives the output value. For example, if I give the n value as 5, it gives the output value as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I'm giving a semicolon for the for loop. What is the meaning? Is it possible to give a semicolon? Yes, it will not throw me any syntactical error because of the semicolon given for the for loop. The syntax doesn't have semicolon, but when I give a semicolon here, because of this semicolon, it is not going to give me an error. Okay, let me run the code. I'll get an error here in this case, but not because of the semicolon. See here, the error is because the variable I undeclared. So here, what is the reason behind this? I'll explain you. So whenever you are giving semicolon for the for loop got over here itself. This body doesn't belong to for loop at all. So that is why we are getting an error, because I have initialized the variable I inside the for loop. The scope of the variable I is only within this for loop, and where the for loop is getting over, the for loop is getting over in the line number 6 itself. But this variable I has been used here, it has not been initialized, it has not been declared. So that is why I have got an error. So I'll comment and write the actual logic. Whenever I am giving a semicolon for this for loop, I'll comment here what is the actual meaning. For int I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus, yes, nothing is there inside the body of the loop. This is the actual meaning of giving a semicolon for the for loop. So in this case, let's give my n value as 5, I is equal to 1, 1 less than or equal to 5, yes, nothing is there, 2 less than or equal to 5, nothing is there, 3, 4, 5 less than or equal to 5, condition is true, nothing is there, 6 less than or equal to 5, condition is false. I'll come out of the for loop. After coming out of the for loop, I am trying to print the variable I, but I have not declared any variable I outside this scope, because this variable I is inside the for loop only we have initialized and declared. So the scope is only within the for loop, not outside the for loop. That is why I am getting an error here. Hope you are clear with this. Now I'll give you one more scenario where we will not have an error here. So I am not declaring the variable I here. I am just declaring outside the for loop. Now will I have an error? No. I'll get the output value as 6. Sorry, I have given the input value as 6, that's why I have got 7. If I give the input value as 5, I'll get the output value as 6. How? The same logic. For loop got over here itself. So let me comment and write the logic. So I have given I equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus. When I give a semicolon, it states that it is nothing is there inside the body. I equal to 1, yes. 1 less than or equal to 5, yes. Nothing is there. 2 less than or equal to 5, yes. 3 less than or equal to 5, yes. 4 less than or equal to 5, yes. 5 less than or equal to 5, yes. Then I value is incremented by 1, which becomes 6. 6 less than or equal to 5, condition is false, I'll come out of the for loop. After coming out of the for loop, I am trying to print the variable I. When I try to print the variable I, what is the value of I? The value of I is 6. So 6 is the output. Here why it is not throwing me an error? Because the variable I is declared outside the for loop. It is not declared inside the for loop. That is why in this case I am getting the value. In the previous case I am getting an error. Okay, the error was not because of the semicolon. What is the use of semicolon? Semicolon states the end of a statement. So this statement got over. So which means for loop got over here. This is the actual reason behind this. Fine. Now let's go for while loop, infinite while loop. So std.h. Int n. Actually, I want to say, when I want to give infinite for loop, this is the actual syntax, because before semicolon is initialization, nothing is there. Condition also nothing is there. Increment and decrement also nothing is there. So if you want to give hello, printf hello, the loop will be executed for infinite number of times. Let me save this. Let me run the code. Okay, I have to give the input value 5. See, hello is printing for n number of times. Why am I even getting the input value 5? Because I have declared a variable, I have to get the input value here. That is why. But the hello is executed for infinite number of times, because this is an infinite loop. Similarly, if you want to give for while, very simple. I'll give while 1. 1 means true, 0 means false. So that is nothing here to stop the loop. So the loop will be executed for infinite number of times. I'll give the input value as 5. See, this is the logic. That's all.